Hello and welcome to the Clever Fox YouTube channel. My name is Ilysse and it is time for spring cleaning, but in your planner. Today I have my Clever Fox Weekly Planner 2nd edition. This is a spiral bound, and today we're going to talk about 3 different tips that you can use to keep your planner cleaned up and organized. Don't worry if you don't have this planner. You can use any of our planners with the tips that I'm sharing today. Make sure that you watch this whole video so that you don't miss any of these tricks. And if you're not yet subscribed to our channel, be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss future videos. Let's get started on fun spring cleaning. All right, now I have my planner open here because I'm going to demonstrate these tips as we go. So tip number 1 is going to be color code with purpose. A lot of times in a planner, we tend to want to see something really aesthetic and pretty. And sometimes that's not the most functional way to keep your planner organized, but also to take care of things in your life. So tip number 1 is going to be color coding with purpose. We want to completely eliminate the aesthetic idea of like matching colors and things like that, and really focus on different colors that are going to mean certain things for you in your life. So you could use highlighters, colored pens. I'm going to be using dot markers here. These are zebra dot markers and they're mild liner. So on one end there is a dot and on the other end there's a little bit more of like a fine tip, fine and dot point. And you could really use anything for this. We'll be sure to link these in the description of the video for you. But I really love color coding because when I see certain colors in my planner and I stick with the same colors all the time, I know exactly what it means. So you could use this note section if you wanted to. You could also use the top area because you've got some space up here. So what we could do is add a little dot there and you could write finance. And then we could do a yellow dot. And of course you can use whatever color and categories are applicable to your life. Right now we're doing a lot of stuff for our wedding. So I can do another one for wedding. We can do work and we could do personal. And then let's do a final one here with health. Now, the beauty of color coding is that as I go to fill out my planner, I can actually use these colors to create the items on my list. So for example, for habits and skills, if my goal is to be more organized this week, I can write declutter in this color. I could also use the dot part to check those off if you just want to use a regular pen. For health, I can write healthy food, a little harder to see there, and then exercise. For finance, I could write 3 no spend, which is one of my goals this year, is to have 3 no spend days per week. For wedding, I'm just going to write spreadsheet, which is something that we tend to need to do almost daily for the wedding, is keep a spreadsheet updated. What else? Work, let's choose the work color. What could be a habit for work is inbox 0. Not always easy to do, but definitely a good goal. And then personal, this one I'm going to write as social check. And what that means is talking to or texting with a friend or family member in my life each day. I'm finding that the busier that life gets, the harder it is to keep in touch with people. And like last night, I was actually working on our wedding guest list. And as I was updating things, because we were ordering our invitations, I saw a couple of different friends' names on there and I was like, oh, I don't even know the last time I talked to them. So I just texted each of them saying like, thinking of you, miss you, how is everything? Because everyone's lives just gets so busy. And so a social check just helps me stay in touch with people. Now, in this area, I could also choose a main goal for the week, whether it's in one of these categories or something separate. But again, once you've determined what color you're going to use for each area, it's a lot easier to be able to know when you're just looking at your planner what each thing is for. So my main goal is actually going to be, I'm going to write healthy eating. And the reward if achieved, I don't know if this gray is gonna look good on this gray. So The reward, if achieved, is hopefully I'll be down 1 to 2 pounds. In March, I didn't lose any weight. I was still exercising, but I wasn't eating as healthy. And so in April, I'm trying to eat healthier, and hopefully that makes an impact. It already has. It's just about the progress. Okay, now you can continue this with the priorities, to-do list, etc. You could even do your wins. So let's say we are fast forwarding a week, and one of my wins could be I ate healthy and lost a pound. Another win could be I organized and decluttered my office. And then another win, I talked to a loved one every day. Wouldn't it feel great if at the end of the week I knew that I had caught up with someone? And what you could do here with these dot markers, the harder you press, the bigger the bullet point will be. So just being more firm with it. But if you go a little bit lighter, it won't fill it up fully. There we go. And then like for the 3 no spend, what I would do is mark off whatever days I didn't spend money. So let's say it was Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oops, for this, those 3 filled in is a win because the goal is 3. Maybe you don't want to exercise every single day, but your goal is to exercise twice in the week. You could even X off the days that you don't plan to. So again, tip number 1 is color coding with purpose. You could also use your color coding over here on this side for your to-do list. Speaking of to-do list, let's talk about tip number 2. So again, one of the areas that planners tend to feel unorganized and overwhelmed is when there's too much written down. Life is busy, right? The to-do list feels like it's never ending, especially if you are a functional planner. Maybe you are working or even more than one job. Maybe you are a parent, you're a student, you're in school and working, so many different things. And it's very overwhelming to see all the different to-dos. So my tip here is to give yourself a maximum of 5 tasks per day. Because when you have more than that, it can be really difficult. The great thing, and you could use this note section, is to list out a lot of different things that you want to do. You'll also have priorities on your personal to-do list, but limiting to writing down 5 different tasks per day. Now, we could go along with this color coding idea here to show you what I mean. So the first thing for me is Mondays are paydays. So Monday is when I update, budget, and pay bills. Another thing for a Monday, let's go for the wedding color, will be upload guest list. Let's do another wedding thing here as well. And this is going to be research, photo, booth, options. Okay, now we're gonna shift over to the next area. And this one is going to be, let me just turn this because it's a little bit easier for me to write on. 1 hour of decluttering. And then for work, I think this was the work color. Yes, it was, okay. Finish and submit project. Now, this already feels a little bit better than so many things listed out because we only have 5 items on this list. And even with that 5, if 5 is feeling overwhelming for you, you could do 3. What you could do, especially in this planner, is have your 3 items here, and then over here, you could write any plans. You could put a box or something to list out any plans. You could also use the colors for plans that you have. So for example, or something that's coming up. So with finance, let's say I have a bill due this day, I could kind of create a little box here, and that could be the update budget, or I could write, let's say, credit card due, or pay credit card. Now, I wouldn't necessarily consider that like a to-do overall, like a task, because paying bills, I feel like, is more of what needs to happen like in our daily lives. It shouldn't necessarily, and not every single day, but it shouldn't necessarily be a task. But when you're looking at your overall categories, this side over here can be your 3 tasks per day, but that's where you want to do the maximum, because, or 3 to 5. Any more than that, it starts to be difficult, depending on what your schedule looks like. If you, let me talk about myself and not you. For me, I am working 9 to 5 and I have a 1-hour lunch break. So typically my options are that I can do tasks before work, depending on what time I wake up, on my lunch break, and then a little bit after work. I say a little bit because my energy level after work really depends on how the workday went. So let's say I get to my office around 7 or 8. Maybe I have 2 hours in the morning, probably closer to 8. I have 1 hour in the morning. I have 1 hour on my lunch break. I don't need an entire hour to eat lunch. And let's say I have 1 hour after work. That's now 3 hours to be able to get things done. And depending on how long the list is, right? If I've already put 1 hour decluttering, now I've taken an hour away from those 2 hours. Finish and submit project is probably also another hour. Updating budget, and these could probably be that third hour. And so when we put too many things on our to-do list, it becomes really overwhelming. I also find that sometimes with larger planners, we're tempted to add more and more to the to-do list, because the more space you have, the more space you have to write. And if you are filling up every single section of the list, you maybe aren't being mindful of how much time you have and actually how much energy you have as well. So tip number 2, again, maximum of 3 to 5 tasks per day. Now, tip number 3 is one that's a little bit harder to implement, but I think is really a game changer. Let's say for a second this was all filled out. Tip number 3 is to use one catch-up day for leftover tasks. So when you're setting up your planner for the week, let's say you choose a day. For me, it's going to be Friday, where I don't put anything down. I may have plans, but I don't put any tasks down. And the idea is that as I go through the week, anything that didn't get done. So let's say I never uploaded my guest list. And then let's also say that on Tuesday, I had a task to make a physical appointment. Let's choose another one for Wednesday. For home, maybe organize linen, closet, and even, I probably should have done the gray for health. I was thinking personal, but let's say over here for personal, buy birthday gift, and then wedding. One of the things that's taking me a while with the wedding is I'm trying to choose like pajamas for my bridesmaids to get ready in the morning so we can take like cute photos. So it's taking me a while because I'm trying to be mindful of the price. I have a lot of bridesmaids and I want to be budget friendly with it, but also not sacrifice quality. All right, so let's say we've gotten to Friday and I haven't gotten some of these things done. The idea would be, even though it didn't get checked off then, to move it down. And I'm not going to draw a line or anything like that. We're just going to take those tasks and move them. So again, as you're filling in your planner, always leave one open day. And what open day you choose really is up to you. For me, it makes sense to do it for Fridays because I don't work on Fridays. So Fridays for me tend to be days where I get work done, I catch up on housework, I get other things done, like appointments that I'm not always able to do. Like recently on a Friday, we went for a tux fitting for my fiance because of his sister's upcoming wedding. I also got a facial recently on a Friday. I had one Friday where I just stayed on the couch because that was what I needed that day. My body just needed to rest. And so that's a day that makes sense to me. Also, the weekends tend to be busier. We have a lot of plans, especially in April. So Fridays just feel like the day that makes the most sense to me. It's also the day I usually get a manicure. It's just kind of my catch-up day. So it makes sense to me to have that be the catch-up day in my planner. Okay, let's recap our 3 tips. Tip number 1 is color code with purpose. Forget about aesthetic. If you're feeling like your planner is unorganized, you need to be being more purposeful with your color coding and the way that you're writing things down. If you really don't like the look of this because there's too many colors going on, you could also use other colors that are more complementary. Like you could do it in like an actual rainbow. You could do maybe a dark blue, a light blue, a purple, a teal. That would look good together. Then you could do like a red and orange, like a brighter orange, kind of like sunset type colors. So there are ways to make it look aesthetic. I'm not saying your planner needs to be ugly. I don't think this looks ugly, but just being more purposeful in your color coding. Tip number 2, maximum 3 to 5 tasks per day. The more things you put in your planner, the more you're going to feel overwhelmed and that your planner is unorganized because you may not be able to get them all done. Tip number 3 is use one catch-up day for leftover tasks. The thing is, you could also bring in leftover tasks from the previous week. If you weren't able to get as much done, if the week got away from you, if you were unmotivated, if spontaneous plans came up, you got sick, anything, using that one catch-up day is really helpful. Now, I'm not saying that your catch-up day needs to be 20 things. I also would try to limit your catch-up day to 3 to 5 tasks as not to overwhelm yourself. Because if the goal is to catch up, you don't want to not finish it and then be overwhelmed going into next week. So hopefully these tips gave you some ideas on how to keep your planner and your tasks a little bit more organized as we are diving deep into quarter 2 of 2026. You can pick up this planner over at cleverfoxplanner.com. Please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, be sure to click the subscribe button and turn on notification bells so that you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.